Hello. Thank you for watching and listening. You Had Options. This episode I have Gooch from the band Vandal. Great conversation with him. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Go on the YouTube and hit that MF subscribe button. You know. But yeah, we talk about their new record, Vandal's new record. Pretend I Don't Exist. Oh, jeez, my brain fart just then. Yeah, Pretend I Don't Exist on Jumpstart Records. It's great. Go check it out. We talk about some of the songs, some of the meanings behind the songs, and yeah, we just gab, like old friends. Yeah, check out Vandal at youVandalFL. Go buy their record. It's on vinyl now. You can buy that. It's sick. Go follow You Had Options at You Had Options. Go buy the You Had Options shirt at thehandsomescoundrels.com/shop. Buy some Scoundrel merch. Yeah, thanks again. Enjoy. Okay. Gooch, hello. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Have you watched the Pam and Tommy show?
I have yet to watch anything beyond the trailers. My significant other was not significantly invested in whatever she saw, so I have to kind of find time to navigate watching it around her. But Alex did tell me, spoiler alert, there is a talking member in the second episode.
There is, yeah.
Featuring one of the greatest Grecian actors known to this world. There's so few of us.
Are you Greek?
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
The old government last name.
Right. Yeah. Do you have to go along with Gooch? Do you have a stage last name?
A stage last name that changes depending on how I feel. Okay. During one Skype interview I had done, I think like a couple weeks ago, it was in his Gucci McJuggernaut.
Damn.
There's been Goocherson and just Gooch. It's the stage name has many names. It's when you're not being tracked by a social security number, you can change whenever you want.
Wow. So yeah. So there's private Christian birth name you, and then Gooch. Gooch is like a vagabond traveling with a circus.
Just this, personality that you don't know when he's going to come out until all of a sudden. Did someone say Bush beer?
Can you give an origin? Do you know the origin of the name? Have you told this story a lot before on a recording?
I mean, obviously, the name is famous from the Jackass original film because they were testing out those electro pulse massage pads.
Yes.
And someone puts one on the Gooch area. Yeah. And it looked very painful. I mean, the person didn't go themselves to the bathroom or anything, so it can't be that bad. But it doesn't seem like a place that I'd like to get any therapy on whatsoever.
Right. Have you ever used a TINS unit, like one of those like shocking pad things?
I've shocked myself with a couple things, here or there. I've grabbed some electric fences, and one time I had to do what's that? I had to do like some physical therapy for a car accident, and they put one of those like on the back of my neck, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I remember just, this is really uncomfortable. Why would someone sit here and just leave this thing on, whatever level it is?
Yeah, man. These I used to use them like on my legs, and it feels like if you like, and of course I would, I want to see. I got to put my hand on the stove, so I crank the thing up, and it like, yeah, terrible Charlie horse.
Yeah, just like it's like the muscles are like, it's going to take me weeks to get untangled here now.
So you've been doing a lot of promo for the new album.
There's we've been doing little email interviews, some Skype interviews, and the like.
Right.
And obviously the Jumpstart has whatever you call them, like PR folk, reaching out for us.
Damn, dude.
Us ending up here or there. Some very kind people have put us on playlists,
Yeah.
Guerrilla marketing, if you will.
Ooh. That's cool. Yeah, Jumpstart seems like a cool label. I like that the guy also owns a brewery and puts on shows.
I love that the guy owns a brewery.
Yeah.
That was the best thing, visiting through that area when we did like the first tour for I Just Want to Go Back to Hell, and just looking, and you see the ice chest filled with all the 6-packs.
Oh yeah.
And then next thing you know, we're driving off with some. It was very nice.
Oh man. Nice. Yeah. I was about to say something, and then I was like, I don't want to. Or I was going to tell the story of, well, whatever. Whenever we played one time in this it was like a dance club in Florida, like I'm sure y'all have played, like where it's like a DJ or acoustic friendly sound system to a band.
Not a place meant for acoustics of those instruments made of wood and brass and the like.
Yeah, but like we played at this dance club, and it was it's like DJs play there, and so we were just like not prepared, whatever, just real shitty show, and we ended up scampering off with some of their just like kind of crates of beer. Or like packets of beer, pallet or whatever.
Yeah, just 100% like, oh, look what fell off the trunk.
Pretty much.
That being said, let me put it on the record. I'm not stealing from you, Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all above board with that guy.
This was legal tender, alcohol taken, whether barter system or government fund exchange.
Oh shit. But yeah, so were you on any of I Just Want to Go Back to Hell, the recording?
No, I Just Want to Go Back to Hell. I was around when they were demoing the songs,
right?
Because they played like, they played I think like 3 songs off that, at Fest that year. Vandal was playing at Palomino, and I remember being like, oh man, yeah, these are brand new, and they actually, all 12 songs, I watched them play, first all the way to last. Just practicing, getting ready for going into the studio with Brian. And I remember like songs being very different, like Morbid having a different drum beat to it, and the guitar solo in Collapse not being a solo, being more of like just a riff than anything.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see what the final product was,
right? And
then obviously hear from Eric, like, yeah, this is what we wanted to change here, there, and everywhere, and this is what you're going to need to play now. I was like, all right, great, I can try to figure that out.
So Pretend I Don't Exist is your first, I guess, recordings with the band, or your first record with the band?
Yeah, definitely first record. I am featured on our cover of the Starving song, or whichever, that we just made for fun because I thought it was a sweet song.
What song? Starving?
Yeah, it's the actress from like True Grit and like Pitch Perfect sequels, Haley Steinfeld or Stanfield. I've never actually heard her name said out loud of the last name, but it's like, you've seen the Jeff Bridges True Grit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little girl.
Okay.
She did a pop song, and I think like one of the Diplo monikers, like Major Lazer or something like that, did. You have big old electronic music, and they're like, I didn't know that I was starving till I tasted you. And,
okay.
And then, big bass drop, all that stuff gets in. I was like, this could be very cool as a pop punky easycore style song.
Yeah.
Which we don't really play that style of
That's
music,
true.
but damn it, we were going to do it for that song.
Man, you guys are pros. You can do whatever you want.
That's I mean, if anything, I wish that every band had that mindset of like, what does it matter? You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, man. You literally can.
Like, I listen to that new Every Time I Die record, and I'm pretty sure there's one song that's mostly just rock and roll. There is not a single bit of heaviness to that darn thing as it is. Yeah, and man. It sounds pretty as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good record. The what is it called? Postmortem, whatever.
Fun song, postmortem, cool song to have, come out, especially considering that the world was very much postmortem for that time to be coming out.
Yeah. What? So you sing a lot on the record, and so you also wrote most of. Did you write most of the songs that you sang, or like all your singing parts are you? Is that it?
Yeah, well, not all of my singing parts, because like on the songs where I'm either back and forth with Eric or I'm backing up Eric, I have no lyrical input on those. But the 3 songs that I would say I'm the lead on, I wrote those lyrics.
Nice.
With the exception of In Sync Back to Me, Eric has that layered part at the end, where he's singing really quickly over me just repeating the chorus.
Yeah.
While the little kind of guitar licks come in that are all wow. That was written by Eric. That part.
What is Sync Back to Me about?
I mean, Sync Back to Me. Your big picture of that song is it's the concept of you need to go forward in something when something goes wrong, and you need to take stock in what it is within you that went wrong. You can't just blame it on other people.
Yeah.
And so you pick yourself up from failure, and hopefully you have bettered yourself from it. I mean, at the micro version of it, it's your typical breakup song, but it's you looking at yourself in that breakup and saying like, I could have done that better, and that's my problem.
Yeah.
It's almost, best way to put it is you both bring your own problems into something, and if you don't work on yourself, you only mix your problems together. So if you're trying to use each other as crutches, but you can barely hold yourself up, it's probably not going to end well, and, you end up writing songs like me.
Yeah. Ooh, so, okay. So Sync Back to Me, is that somebody is already sunken, but the other person's trying to better themselves?
No, the person who's sunk is trying to better themselves.
Okay.
The way that I hope that of course, there is no way in a million years we would have had budget to show what I see in the lyrics.
Underwater filming? Yeah.
Yeah, if you took the metaphors literally, it's this concept of there being a lake behind your house, and your house has a drain in it. There's a drain in your sink. There's a drain in your bathtub, and the whole concept is that if you clog those drains and you keep letting in water, including from outside in this outlandish 40 days, 40 nights kind of situation, it's going to flood because the water has nowhere to go. And that's you kind of cutting out your stuff and bettering yourself in order to get rid of those clogs and get back to the surface of the water kind of thing. Again, if someone thinks that song means something else, then you're also right.
Yeah, man.
But because obviously I hate, trying to hide under metaphor on metaphor on metaphor on metaphor, because then at a certain point someone's going to be like, okay, we get it. You read Thoreau. We don't care.
Do you get a lot of your ideas from, are you a big reader?
Yeah. And it's the only reason I wear glasses now, because I get too many headaches from reading.
Yeah.
Shoot, my college degree was English lit.
Oh, cool. Me too.
Hey,
yeah.
We see our own.
Yeah.
We see, we smell, we taste our own.
What are you? I don't know. Are there any? What are you reading right now? I guess.
Right now, I was going through kind of like a Tolkien reread on one end. I'm also reading baby books because I have a daughter coming, and I was reading The Swamp from I think it's Grunfeld or Grunwald. I just look at like first letter, last letter, and then there's a letter somewhere in between. Mm-hmm. And I rarely, until someone actually says what someone's name is, do I say a name correctly. But it's an Everglades book about, Florida.
Ooh.
Our modern day Florida.
Swamp
and how
people?
It came.
Yeah.
There's a lot that people can say about that, of course. And we recently drove through that whole Glades area from St. Pete to like the Fort Lauderdale area. Yeah. So that was kind of cool, like riding through that and really seeing the most modern picturesque of it after, reading what it was like when like Zora Neale Hurston was hanging out there and had Lake Okeechobee go and flood everyone out.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. The Everglades. That's weird. I don't know. It's kind of like Louisiana, New Orleans, like swamp area too.
Yeah, because the whole concept, like to give you a quick little like cliff note of the book is, this whole concept that someone went there and they're like, look at this muck. This muck would be the best soil ever.
Yeah.
And so people tried planting there, and then next thing you know, a hurricane comes, Lake Okeechobee floods, or you just realize that there's so much muck underground that fires are starting, so it's not as bountiful as you think it is. And then the United States citizen said, I will make you bow down to me. And a big problem is a lot of our fresh water in this state came because of the way the Everglades used to be. And the modern day thought process is that if we don't figure out a better way for it to be, we might not have that fresh water,
Oh, so that's a current situation?
Yeah, Biscayne Aquifer is a big, gotta fix this, but how? And is it gonna cost us money? It's that's kind of like your state environmental impacts, besides like we gotta save our manatees and Florida panthers and stop building so many roads, but we keep building so many roads.
You can't, man. Just let nature do its thing. Just give it back. Give the aquifer back and see what happens.
It's like, give up a couple towns here or there.
Yeah,
it's
man.
like it's like Disney screwed us all over. They did that Carousel of Progress ride, and everyone's like, it's got to keep going forward.
Yeah, man.
Otherwise, how's Grandma gonna whip my keister at the virtual reality video game?
Damn. What you guys made a video for, which song did you make a video for on this one?
Sink Back to Me.
Sink Back to Me, yeah.
Video.
Was that your idea for the video too?
Yeah. It's really, obviously this song I don't think has much to do with getting fired, lyrical wise, but it seemed to me like, those lyrics sounded like they'd sound really good over someone yelling in their boss's face while they're getting fired.
Yeah.
And so that was the concept I had. Eric, Alex, and Scott all liked it, and Matt Zagorski he plays in Machinist. He was the one who shot that video, and he said, "Yes, I do like that idea, and let's go forward with it."
It's a fun video. I like Eric in the wig.
Eric in that wig is so MVP-esque, and shooting the beginning of that video was so different because the beginning stuff we shot, only the end of the song features it. Like, there's me and Eric singing the whole beginning of that song just in the room where, like, you're getting fired.
Yeah.
And Eric looks just so hilarious in that wig, and I'm spitting all over. Like, I'm acting so horrible to this man who I, care for so much. And so it took all the acting in the world to act like a jerk to the guy. Okay. But there was a part where I got done singing my part, and it gets to Eric doing "The Water Is Rising" to the ceiling. But Eric doesn't want to throw out his voice or anything. So he's just like, he's got like his hands in front of his face, and he's just like, "The water is rising to the ceiling." Like the perfect Gary Cole from Office Space impression. And I just like spit across the room. It was so funny to me.
Oh, shit. Where'd y'all record that?
At like a coffee company, in like a kind of, how kind of strip mall looking area. Yeah. And one building is just, a company. And I believe Zagorski works for that company is what it was. So he was like, "Oh, I have the perfect office place here." He's like, "My boss is completely cool with it."
Yeah.
And the boss comes in like, "Why is this chair all messed up and there's scuff marks on my walls?" It's like, these guys really just hate coffee, man. I don't know.
Too wild. Yeah.
It's like they drank all your product, dude, and they just started bouncing off the walls. All these 30-something-year-old men went bonkers.
Man. But y'all did like a weekender recently, right?
Yeah. We our first big support of the record, besides kind of our soft record release show that we did in Gainesville at the so wonderful Lucy's establishment. We did Atlanta to St. Pete to it's called Oakland Park, but it's basically your Tri-County Fort Lauderdale area.
Okay. How was the response at those shows to the new record?
I mean, people have bought it.
Right.
They have said nice things. We overwhelmingly played new songs at those. I think maybe we played like "Take Me Home" and "Sorry" off of like the last two records.
Yeah. And
everything else was just songs off of seven songs off the new record. Everything to say like, we've got something to push for y'all. And we hope you're buying what we're selling.
Yeah. Well, you got, after COVID, not playing shows, and then y'all got the new record, so you got these new songs y'all want to play.
Yeah, it's like everybody forgot that we had other songs. It's fine to move on to these ones. I mean, it's like, we're small time guys,
right?
And so it's like, it's not like, oh my goodness, if like Strung Out came to town or something like that, and I'm hoping to hear like, whatever I can hear off Twisted by Design or Exile in Oblivion, and I maybe haven't heard like whatever the latest something they came out with is. And they're going to be like, all right, we can only play like 3 new songs because everybody wants the old stuff. That's not us.
Yeah.
That's absolutely not you, Vandal. So,
yeah. There's go on.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, which we weren't sure, how it was going to be. Like the Atlanta show, all cool bands out of Atlanta. New Junk City was, I think, doing... No, it wasn't a... New Junk City wasn't doing a release, although I know that they'd come out with like some singles recently. But oh my god, Mountain Party was doing like a cassette release that day, and they were super cool. Like that was really enjoyable watching them. You go down, we play St. Pete. and it's Rudderkin's record release.
Ah, yeah.
So it's almost like we did a soft record release weekend, piggybacking off all these other bands releasing things overall recently as well. So it's kind of like, oh, that's so cool. You're letting us play a record release. Nice, we're going to steal your advertising and also do our record.
Oh, yeah, dude. Okay. That's just smart business on y'all's end.
It's like in NASCAR racing, it's drafting. You get behind them, just like, all right, you gotta.
Yeah, man.
Let's conserve some gas here, guys, and try to take this out as far as you want.
Yeah,
the place that I did not know how we were going to get a reaction at was definitely the Oakland Park, but we know the owners of that place. It's called Ginger's, and they used to run that bicycle themed bar down in Fort Lauderdale called 2N. It was like the number 2 spelled out as a word and then an ampersand because it resembles like a bicycle. And that place closed because landlords can be a-holes, and now they're running Ginger's, and that place was pretty awesome. Narragansett on tap. We did not know how people were going to like anything because there was a rad band that was only playing acoustic, and I'll have to pick their name back up. But he played really cool acoustic, and then the band that played after him that was before us, all young folks. I think like maybe possibly still in high school or early college.
Ooh.
So huge generational gap where we're like, oh my goodness, like these people probably still have curfews. Like people aren't going to stay and watch us, but still a decent amount of people were hanging around. But it was one of those things where you want people to be making new bands. You want bands to keep coming out, but it's just so wild when you see like these people that are probably at the age you were when you first started doing this stuff.
Yeah,
it is weird. But I imagine this is exactly how people felt when they like people who were in older bands and the site and the such watching like our band like when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Just like, oh man, I'm not jumping like that on stage anymore. Oh, my lumbago. Oh no. I remember the band Shaven. The band was called Shaven that opened up that show, and that guy was really good acoustically. They were cool.
Yeah.
But hey, it's good to be doing anything anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's weird when you think about like new bands and kids just getting into music because it makes me feel so old, but it's cool at the same time.
Yeah, it's like you're watching like the world of Euphoria open up around you, and you're just like, oh no. Someone needs, like, I think I read like an article a long time ago of like some Vulture guy or Pitchfork guy going to see a new hip project, and it was like very, very vulgar. Like I think it was someone reviewing a group called Billionaires, I think is what they were called.
Okay,
and it was like 2 young girls, like making, I guess you would say, making Kesha seem like she wrote songs for Sesame Street, if anything. Like, really, really being out there.
Yeah.
And this guy is sitting there, and he's writing in the article about this, and he's like, I'm here, and this is kind of making me uncomfortable, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, where's an adult? Where's the adult to, tell these kids that maybe they should make different life choices? And then he's like, then I thought about it, and I was the adult. I'm the one that's supposed to do something.
It was me. Yep.
It was me. I hope to never be that person.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I don't know. Still love doing it. I guess down for life or whatever. But it's just like, oh man.
I mean, there has to be a moment during all of this, pause that we've had where all of us have been like, is it gonna miss us? Are we gonna miss it? You know, it's like because I'm sure there was a conversation we had where we're like, oh man, like, do we just be a studio band now and we just do videos and you know, if someone wants to see a song get played, they watch that. You know, you don't know where everything was gonna go when this was happening.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, we got to Fest last year,
right?
And it was just like, oh man, I'm so glad this happened, because you just don't know how much you miss it until there's 1 year without a Fest.
Yeah. Yeah. Fest was good. It was just different, I guess. Feeling that less people, you know.
Which is fine. Like, I remember I didn't go the Kid Dynamite year. I think they did like Fest 12 or Fest 10. And I had to skip that year for, you know, whatever personal reasons. And then I went the next year, and, you know, as many people weren't drawn out, but it was still awesome. Like, I mean, it's Fest. You make your own fun. You see the music you want to see. And if you're not seeing music you want to see, guess what? There's a show 1 block or less away that you can go to and then see what you want to see, hopefully.
Yeah. What was your first Fest? Do you remember?
Oof. A lot of those early fests bleed together a little bit for me. It might be 5 or 6. I want to say it was the one after the really controversial year where there was like a warehouse show got shut down. And punks were getting arrested and they were throwing cinder blocks through cop cars and stuff like that. It was, I think, the one after that, because, you know, if people were getting in trouble for like open containers, the cops were so respectful to the people they were writing tickets to. Like, just saying, like, you guys aren't going to like beat me up, are you? Which, to say cops being, you know, respectful to those that they are ticketing and or handcuffing is not something you usually get to say. So it's almost like there was this whole like, oh my goodness, it's true. Maybe they can rise up and take everything away from them. It's like they almost did it over one storage unit and a painted black set.
Oh man, yeah. Cop cars overturned, set on fire. The whole, you know,
wheels replaced with cinder blocks, just nothing but red lights flashing all over the place, like martial laws. And obviously it wasn't that bad, but it was. I remember going the year after that. And I want to say the year after that year, I just like broke my nose during like, what was it? The Florida Theater. They called it the Venue back then. Yeah. And obviously they don't do shows there really anymore. But they used to not have a barricade. So if you wanted to like just stage dive, the stage was your oyster. Like and it's not high. You know, you would just get up there and you would go. And I was doing it during like Paint It Black, and Dan Yemen was like, you know, challenging the crowd. He's like, if you don't jump face first, I think you're not cool. And I might have had a little bit to drink, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be not cool.
Right. Well, I'm cool. And
then maybe like jump number 6 or 7, someone's head just happened to be in the way of my schnoz. And then, you know, it's like, I think like someone standing behind the guy, I made eye contact with him as soon as like my vision came back, and he's just, oh! And I think whoever Alex's girlfriend at the time got a picture of me with just 2 bits of toilet paper shoved up my nose, and I'm holding an ice cube on the bridge, and I'm just like, it's good.
Straight nose to the dome, nose first.
Nose to dome. Nose almost always loses. Is you know, one of these days the nose will prevail. But
oh man,
no to nose that day.
Did you have to get like your nose surgery? I
have had my nose broken many times before that. So by that point, it was just, I'm over it. This is the same beak that you see before you suffered the frac. Like it. Let me think. Nose got broken when I was probably in like the 11th grade the first time. and then because someone was thrown at my head, bought like a spear, and then broke it, seeing no effects in Jacksonville. Yeah, slipped and fell face first, and the ground defeated the nose. Concrete ground always beats nose. Got punched in the face because one of my buddies had just gotten off of drug court at a show, and he was super excited at the show. It was like I'm the Avalanche or something. Yeah. So pumped, and he keeps bumping. You know, he's had a lot to drink. He doesn't have to take drug tests anymore.
Right.
And he keeps bumping into this girl and keeps bumping into her, and she finally can't have it anymore. And then he Home Alone 2s me. He goes down to tie his shoes when she finally turns to see who this guy is.
Oh, no.
And I'm standing here, and she, you know, like Kevin McAllister, he pinches the girl's skirt, and then she knocks out, you know, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. And this lady just turns around, and it was what the heck? And like, I think her boyfriend knew it wasn't me, and he immediately was like, "Oh, dude, sorry." And I was like, "This isn't what I came here for." And the nose broke then too. So you know, it's just by that point, it finally came time to stop putting your schnoz back together and just accept that it's not meant to be.
You having a nose? Or
Then they the first time it was so bad. I mean, straight.
Oh no! The other side of your face.
They like put me. They like. Do you know like what they do when your nose is still like kind of raw? They'll put you under, and they take 2 sticks and just and they just put the bones back into place like you're doing a puzzle in Uncharted or something. And yeah. It is like, I mean, I would hate to be awake for that and to sneeze. And obviously, like, if it's been a long time and your bones have hardened since then as the healing process, they would have to then break your nose and put it all back together again. So it's
damn, dude.
Not doing that. I am fine with the schnoz I have been gifted.
Damn, dude. That Humpty Dumpty nose, trying to put all the King's Men trying to put it back together again.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather that they don't try to put it back together again, because one of those horses would step on my face and just break it all over.
Break it again?
It's like, oh, you broke it while trying to fix it. So it's fixed. 2 doubles or 2 negatives makes it positive.
It's, you know, just from the outside looking in, it looks okay.
It feels okay. There's a whistle I can hear sometimes.
It's a whistle?
But yeah, you know, just like, you know, just you taking a big, I feel like I have to mouth breathe more than the normal human does.
Okay. Do you snore?
Oxygen's so good. If you're not using both your nose and your mouth to get a taste, I mean, are you really living?
Right, yeah.
Mouth breathers just get such a bad rep.
Right, man.
We normalize the mouth breathers.
The mouth breathing hits different, you know?
It's just, you know, it's a different air. Like, you're so much more reckless. You're like, there could be bugs flying around and I don't care. They'll just come on in, buddies.
Oh man, are you a snorer?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh no.
But hey, you know, it's fine, because now the wife she can't get over it. You know, like if she tries to sleep without me, it's like my snoring is her whale sounds.
Oh, interesting.
Like, you are stuck with me now. You need to hear that rhinoceros.
Wow, man.
Trying to, you know, I don't know, like do yard work or whichever it sounds like to it.
Trying to, start a lawnmower is, you know. Oh, jeez. What? You sent me a song. I didn't get a chance to check it out yet. Are you all writing new music now?
Yeah, we've been demoing. I mean, it took so darn long for this last one.
Yeah.
That it's kind of like let's get a Jumpstart on.
Shout out.
Having new stuff out. I mean, we've exchanged a decent amount of demos, and all just acoustic. We haven't put music to anything yet.
Yeah.
But we are certainly, you know, we're looking ahead. But for now, what matters is Pretend I Don't Exist. That's we're pretty pumped on all those songs. Like it's different enough. I think like we all did what we set out to do on it. I hope we did, or I hope we're all satisfied with it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good record.
Thank you very much. We were pumped on it. I think I listened to your interview with Eric, and I think Eric like let out the joke. He's like, "Have you listened to it?" or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I think you were just like saying a song title or something like that.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, my favorite song is "Pretend I Don't Exist."
Yeah, I mean those are, I believe, lyrics that come up in "Got It Wrong." I think.
Yeah. And then I texted him later, and I was like, I'm sad I didn't bring up y'all's anti-mask song, "Ghost."
That there's a lot of, I think like there was one music blog where it's like music dies here, I think, and it's like two people who listen to an album while like drinking, and they're talking about Ghost and be like, these lyrics have a very different meaning now than they did before.
And the line about charging the Capitol, that pushed it over the top.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, this is the January 6th theme. Like, no, it's because Eric and I did an acoustic show for Vecinos, outside of Flacco's, and it was like us and No More, and I'm trying to think who else was on. I know the Suck Brick Kid guys from Orlando, I think, were on it too. It was just a nice little Florida acoustic shindig, and we played Ghosted, and Eric and I, it was still, peak pandemic time, and so we changed the lyrics to keep on your mask, and the one underneath it too, which of course really changes the entire metaphor of the song at that point.
That's true.
It's like, oh no, the artistic integrity has been compromised, but we also don't sound like we're a bunch of alt-right, QAnon a-holes. So
it's that's like whenever I go to karaoke and I do a Kanye West song, I keep all the expletives in, okay? Even the racially charged ones. Those stay in there. I'm just joking.
Isn't that, what was that movie? Did you ever see the movie Dope?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the guy from Workaholics is just, he wants to say the expletive,
right? And
Kiersey Clemens' characters keep slapping him over the face, and it shows him talking with that Jean Ralphio actor,
right? And
and the guy's like, whatever happened to the artist's intent?
Right, exactly.
So it's that grouping of people,
goodness,
yeah, that artistic compromise thing, that's tough. Eric and I have no problem changing up words here or there.
Interesting. Yeah, obviously Ghosted is not wait, is it Ghosted? Yeah.
Ghosted is the take off your mask song.
Written before COVID, I believe.
It was most certainly written pre-COVID, and I believe we even recorded the vocals before that.
Yeah.
Because, I know, Eric has, I think, said it, but it was we were going to do 3 EPs originally, because we were like, get it, and then we'll put them together as a compilation. And then we finished the first one. We had sent it out to get mastered. Whoever we sent it out to was unfortunately not getting back to us, so that all failed. And by that point, we were like, oh well, we're already working on the next 4 songs and the next 4 songs.
Yeah.
And I think we played Cake, the first song on the record, at a show in February of 2020. So right before everything got really serious with that virus. And so we came out, we played that song, Eric and Alex switched bass to guitar. It was, that moment of, oh, look, we have new stuff. So Ghosted was done all four of those songs were done by then.
Yeah.
And so, we have a paper trail, people. We can promise you we were not, coronavirus truthers trying to, Chicago our devil's messages to you by spinning the records backwards.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little Nicky reference.
Oh, shit. You don't hear too many little Nicky references anymore.
Really, and especially with like Popeyes having so many commercials and people apparently stabbing each other over the sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
You really expect more of those, more of that, more little Nicky's, clear product placement for Popeyes to be coming out into this world. But
oh, man.
You don't, because it's like what? Like the part I'm thinking of is when the metalhead guys are like spinning an Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath record. He's like, what do you think they're saying? It's like the Blizzard King was always actually very straightforward in what he's saying, but Chicago. That was I'll give the movie. It gave me some chuckles, and that was one.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Shit. What is Chicago's big song?
Honestly, I think Chicago, and I just confuse them with Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah.
And so I really don't. We all know it. Like they play it on like if you're in an Applebee's, it probably plays over the intercom or something like that. I haven't been in an Applebee's in possibly a decade, so I really can't tell you what the Chicago song is.
If You Leave Me Now, that's a big one.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I am not at all surprised that I thought that was ELO.
25 or 6 to 4. You know that one?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You see, these are all songs that you're just like, if it came up on Jeopardy, I'd lose. But if it like popped up, I'm probably not Shazamming it anyway.
Shut up! I gotta Shazam this. Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's that song. It's been that song all along. I can't believe it.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's funny. Like, yeah, there's a station in Mobile called 96.1 The Rocket, and that's our 70s, whatever classic rock station. Oh man, yeah, all that shit. Most of that shit just runs together.
Yeah, because Florida, at least in like South Central Florida, where I came up, we had 98.7 the Gator, 95.9 the Pirate, and then I think 96.5. Mm-hmm. And they all ran a certain amount of classic rock at one time or another. And I'm pretty sure they're all something else or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. We can do a lightning round. We've done like 46 minutes.
It's get out your quick draw McGraw and give me your best shot.
And I always say it, lightning is subjective, so
sometimes lightning strikes in more than one place.
That's true. Oh man. What's your favorite book of all time?
Oof, favorite book of all time? I'd probably go with the first Carl Hyacin book I read, Double Whammy.
What is? Can you give people a rundown? A double whammy rundown?
Carl Hyacin is someone who loves Florida but hates what Florida has become, and typically writes kind of satirical action novels, usually taking an industry and how it's been bastardized, whether it's fishing in Double Whammy, the tourism, game hunting, the lottery, what have you. He tackles those subjects, and Double Whammy is about fishing. And also, there's a great character that he's written called Tyree Spree, I think, whose real name is, or who is referred to as Skink. And he is a homeless man who eats roadkill, but he is a former governor of Florida who tried to expose the corruption of government, and of course was, eventually defeated by the lobbyists. So he walked away from the political spotlight. And if you read Carl Hiaasen novels, he typically appears in all of them.
Yeah. It's weird. That's good. I'll double whammy. I'll check that one out.
I highly recommend it. It's that was a good part of high school for me, was reading those books.
What's your favorite truck stop / gas station on the road in the touring?
Oh yeah, in touring. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if we stopped at like a Buc-ee's when we were in Texas, which is crazy because it's, everyone's like, it's the Holy Grail. What are you doing? I mean, Wawa feels like such an old reliable.
True.
Pretty clean restrooms, no charge ATMs. I can say I don't like Sheets because it just always gives me a stomach ache.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like I feel like there's this Sheets Wawa,
There is, yeah.
It's and I feel bad to have to take one side, but as of this point, we have Wawas all over Florida now, and they so far have done me far less harm than Sheets has done for me, which has been 100%.
Ooh, damn.
Oh, the Sheets slander. This is
you're gonna get people riled up.
We're in so much trouble here. Oh dear.
Yeah, there's a.
You know what? If I had to pick one, there is a mobile in Vero Beach that has the Saucy Pig, which was a local Vero Beach barbecue joint.
Okay.
And you could get it out of just that gas station. I know independent gas station barbecue doesn't sound so good, but dang it, I don't want to be saying like, where's my favorite place to buy like my clothes is Walmart. So
hey man, faded glory, never done anybody wrong.
So Saucy Pig out of Vero Beach, Florida. There you go.
Okay. What's your favorite regional beer?
Out of like Florida region or any region?
Any region.
Oh, I mean, honestly, if you got a Canadian beer, it's exactly what I want. Like Labatt's and Molson's.
Really?
I will crawl over broken glass. I would kneel on nails to drink one of those instead of like the big three off of whatever tap you're in.
Damn, dude.
My hometown of Utica, New York, has an awesome brewery though. FX Matt's brewery, Saranac brewery is what a lot of people know it as now.
Okay.
And they have some good beer there. The Utica Club is my favorite cheap beer in the world. It's the old can just had like a double X on it. It's awesome. I mean, it's if you're ever in Utica, go to Varick Street. There is some lovely drinking to be done in that area.
Oh, shout out. Oh, man. Man, I don't know. I asked Eric this one, and it was his response was about you.
the bathroom.
Yeah,
incident.
So I don't know. I'm sure that's your craziest fest story.
I can't remember if that was the same. That was not the breaking my nose year, if I remember correctly. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, the year that was the first year I think that I went there. Like that was my first time in Gainesville for a very long amount of time.
Yeah.
And it was, and obviously I fell in love with the darn city. I can't believe I don't live there to this day.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's probably because the city does not want me there. They're like, we can only have you for like
3 days
a little bit out of the year. Like we need to clean up when you're gone. Yeah. So I mean that doorless bathroom stalls probably very, very well up there. But I think that same weekend, someone posted a pic on the social media of a kid passed out on like one of the trash cans outside of like Cowboys or 8 Seconds or Knockin' Boot Saloon, whatever it's called, and his pants are down. So he's basically using the
pooping
trash
in the
can as
garbage
a toilet. So I think that kid won that year.
Yeah. Gainesville's a great city. Even without fest going on, like hanging out with y'all there.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think there was like Oh, there was a time that I was so stoked because all the, like, I think like 8 Seconds and a couple other places, I think 8 Seconds used to have like sawdust all over their bathroom floors.
Okay.
And the urinals were heavily iced. So, you know, it's like, it's the best video game to play when you're, you know, trying to get stuff done or whichever. And I remember, you know, being in one of those urinals, taking down my ice and just like talking to someone about like, man, I'm having so much fun, you know, taking out this ice. Isn't this such a good fest this year? Mm-hmm. You guys played pretty well tonight. And the guy's just like, I can't get started if you won't stop talking to me.
Oh shit, I feel that.
Yeah, it's understandable. Not everybody wants to go 2-player. Everybody, right. Some people
2-player. 1-player. Oh shit, what's your favorite Florida band?
Ooh, I mean that's a.
Or you can give me top 3, whatever.
Top 3. I mean, goodness, it'd be almost crazy for them not all to come out of Gainesville, really. I mean, if I had to go with like the legacies, it's really hard to like, you know, look past just everything Hot Water Music and Against Me have done.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of like a more. It's one of my favorite songs. Not necessarily that I dig everything with them, but like I feel like people don't talk about Glass Eater as much anymore, but they had like some cool stuff there. I think out of like the Miami area, because I feel like Glass Eater is out at the same time that Glassjaw is out. Glassjaw obviously is, you know, a big legacy band. Right. Glass Eater, I don't think ever reached anything close to that. But if I had to go with local acts, you know, bands that are more of, you know, I don't want to say peers because I think some of these bands write songs that I could never aspire to do. But, you know, people that we're friends with, I mean, I got to say Rudderkin is awesome.
Yeah.
Out of the Tampa St. Pete area. That Portal for Spirits record is so good. And the EP they did before that, the Sanguine song, love that song. It's, I mean, they're so cool, and we were so fortunate to get to play with them on that weekender that we just did.
Yeah.
Kid You Not, always such cool guys. You know, love playing with Kid You Not. And these guys aren't Florida guys, but have you heard of the Handsome Scoundrels? They played Fest.
Oh man, I tell you what. They got some toe tappers. Yeah.
They've made me raise my knee and lower my foot back to the ground once or twice there.
Start slapping your legs. Yeah.
What was it like that? You guys had to play at Vicino. Well, it was Dirty Nellies then, but then it's Vicino's, and you guys had to play like the same time as like American Steel on a Sunday. I remember.
Yeah.
It was like.
Yeah, I can't remember what year that was.
It was. I want to say it was the last year before the fest that never was.
Okay.
Like it was. It would have been Fest 16 was this year, right? Or last year?
This is the 19.
This is Fest 20 coming. Yeah. All right. Shit. All right. Yeah. No. Fest 18 then. So Fest 18 was that was the one that American Steel was playing, and they were awesome. Yeah. But you guys were going on, I think, halfway through their set. And so I remember I showed up to y'all's set, and I was wearing the most controversial T-shirt of all of Fest, which was a White Claw shirt.
Yes.
And that White Claw being a thing at Fest, really controversial is something I learned. Like people walking by me saying disgusting.
Just tried to rip your shirt off?
Yeah, just, you know, like someone just get that out of here, like dumping hot bacon grease on me or something like that. Pure battery acid. Just like, I must bring this man down. It's like, oh yeah, it's people were not happy about that. But I remember I went to y'all's set, and I think like afterwards we were talking, and I was, you know, pretty toasted at the time. And I think like I was like, did you guys, before I got there, did you guys play the Porky Pig song?
Love it. Oh shit, I think we did play our Porky Pig song.
It's, I mean, that's like nice quick chorus. Like that's one you want out at the beginning of a set.
That's
you
right.
know, it's like it's like, let's get that let's get the toe tapping going and hopefully
Right.
not lose that rhythm. Dang it!
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh man. What's your perfect pizza?
Honestly, for me, a perfect pizza would be pretty darn simple. I'd be fine with just pepperoni and cherry peppers.
Okay.
Yeah, like the spicy peppers,
Right.
but like good cherry peppers, not just like the ones that you would buy pre-sliced
Yeah.
or something like that. Like if you get like a nice jar of Centos that still have all the seeds in them and that you have to core out yourself. And if you're coring a cherry pepper, you probably should make sure every single seed is gone.
Yeah.
Because just one is, a darn heat seeker missile coming after you. It's just so bad. Oh no, don't at all do that. My father would, he was a big hunter and we'd always cure our own meats. And we had this lovely concoction of dried sausage, 50-50 venison and hog, and then provolone cheese, but very sharp, like hung with the ropes in the ball of wax kind of provolone.
Okay.
And we would gore out cherry pepper, and you would stuff it with that sliced sausage, which you would need to, put in vinegar, or I'm sorry, no, in oil. Otherwise, it would just keep hardening, and at some certain point, you're just losing teeth.
What? So would you have to dress like these? What would your dad hunt? Where would he hunt?
We lived in upstate New York, so
okay, in New York,
from, like the Mohawk Valley. He knew a lot of people who had a lot of land, and they all grew up. And then when we moved to Florida, so many people hunt, but they don't know how to, dress a stag. Like nobody, they're all like, "Oh, butcher, please turn this into meat for me, and can you get me a taxidermist so I can mount this beautiful creature?" And it's like, my father was very much like if you're taking this thing out of our planet, you're going to use everything. Like, my dad would make pelts out of, he'd make blanket pelts. He'd make, one time I had a science project out of antlers, and I think it won something like when I was in like the second grade. That was sweet. We made like chimes out of them. That was pretty cool. And then obviously the meat, you can get what you want out of it. It's they are beautiful creatures, dang it, and you better be damn well respectful with them if you are to take one off this planet.
Damn. Whenever have you like killed a deer?
I myself, no. We moved before I was of age for it.
Because there's the tradition of killing your first deer. You cover yourself in the deer blood, and then
it's like it's supposed to take a bite out of its heart or something.
Yeah, so you cover yourself in deer blood, then you go to Walmart, because that's usually
where we were. There would not have been a Walmart very close by
exactly
for where my father and I would have done that. So that would have been very difficult getting me there.
Well,
I feel like people now these days, they just get ahead of all that they buy Jägermeister and they just black out, and that's the deer blood thing. That's how everyone does it.
Yeah, the black vomit that comes up upon you after drinking it.
They're just like, it's greener. It's just a better way of doing your rite of passages. Just go black out on some deer blood and leave the creatures be. Dang it.
Yeah, I was picturing little Gooch, like Gooch Senior bringing home like a wild pig that he's killed, like out in the Florida bush, and kind of like a Lord of the Flies type of thing with you, like just I don't know, covered in leaves and in blood, and
just running around with palm frond bikini and just really speaking in like some secret language only the palaces have created while being out in the bush.
There you go.
It's gotta say, went a long time before I ate meat from a store. So can't.
Yeah, there's this guy. Have you heard of Liver King on Instagram?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's just one of these guys that he's this jacked dude, and his big thing is like eating liver of animals. But he's like, I use all the parts of the animal, all that shit. But I don't know. People are like, he just weird videos of him and his like daily routine. But he is humongous in cut, and so people think he's, you know, he's on the juice, and, you know, not just eating liver to get big.
Well, you know, like it was like a big thing that when settlers were trying to figure out, like, why do the Native Americans look like they do, and we're all dying of malnourishment and everything, because you know, it was like, so especially in like Florida, people did not you know, they would just overhunt the deer would migrate, and they would have no more deer. And like a big thing is that what they didn't realize is like Native Americans knew how to grow. I think it was like a combination of corn and beans, and by growing the seeds together, it produced an enzyme that was the equivalent of pounding down a steak.
Weird
is like what they say, at least. I mean, I'm not. I mean, whether someone made this up and then gave it to me, but it's, you know, it is one of those things that it's like there's ways to, you know, look all nice, but also at the same time, maybe he's putting something extra in that liver.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Okay. What to go with the pizza question? What do you want on your tombstone?
I mean, if I'm gonna, we're saying I'm gonna have the actual trash cracker of Tombstone just posted up behind me. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Lawrence Arm lyric that I have as my IG handle, being "I was born and I died."
Oh yeah,
it seems very apt, and it really summarizes, I think, everything I did on this planet. You know, from the beginning to end. By that point,
yeah.
I mean, I could also be like, he abided.
Yeah, the dude, he abided. Yeah, the dude abided. Oh man, that's good. I like that. That's a good lyric. Yeah. Well, cool. Do you have any closing promotions or anything to say, or anything you want to get off your chest?
I mean, obviously, you know, please check out Pretend I Don't Exist. We have a music video on the old YouTubes of Sync Back to Me, directed by the awesome Matthew Zagorski. We will be making more music videos too. And hopefully there's some of y'all's favorite songs. If I could recommend like one song to listen to off that record that like doesn't get talked about, maybe I'd say like Got It Wrong is a cool ballad song. And if you like some nice, soft, you know, more dronier stuff, especially that's akin to like something we did off of like Abandon All Hope or something like that, I think it's a really good touch on that, but us still doing something different.
Oh.
And like all those Florida bands I'm talking about, I mean, my goodness, listen to Handsome Scoundrels, listen to Seagulls. Those are not from Florida.
Right.
Also, you know, listen to Rudderkin. Everyone knows Wolfface, but you should listen to them anyway. Virginity out of Orlando is cool. Kid You Not, Friendly Fire. I mean, we got a lot of good friends around these parts. And Florida, I really feel like Florida music is, I wouldn't say it ever left, but I feel like there's something of a raising resurgence. Whether we're part of that or not is to be seen. But I'm very stoked on a lot of these bands with their releases that are out right now. Oh my goodness, who was it that? And there's a cool band out of Gainesville. If you like stuff like The Cure, they're called Chimes. I highly recommend checking them out. They're on Bandcamp. I think it's like Chimes 666.
Okay.
Something like that. It's that stuff is awesome. Very into that kind of thing.
Hell yeah. Cool. Well, Gooch, stay on for a second, but you had options, but you decided to talk to me, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate being that option for you too.